Hello, sir. Right.
Yeah.
How are
Hi.
you?
Yeah. Good evening. I'm fine.
Good evening, sir. So, you are in Gujarat right now?
Yes.
Okay. Sir, so without further ado, let me just introduce you to our audience. So, guys, Dr. Abraham Johnson has graduated in dentistry from College of Dental Sciences and Research Center, Gujarat. Further completed his master's in forensic odontology from Gujarat Forensic Sciences University. He is currently working as an assistant professor at Institute of Forensic Science, Gujarat Forensic Sciences University, India. Also pursuing his PhD studies in 3D forensic imaging. He was the youngest and sole member to represent India at Interpol DVI meeting in Singapore 2019. He has received the Excellence in Forensic Odontology Shushruta Award for the year 2018 at New Delhi. He is also the recipient of Talent of the Year 2016 award from Indian Dental Research and Review held in Bangalore. He is an avid reader and seeks a lot of interest in research. He has guided and prepared young minds for research. He has many more feathers to his cap. Just to name a few, he is the member of various organizations and has been a consistent achiever at scientific conferences. He is also the liaison officer of the humanitarian forensics. So, very warm welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jasmine, for the kind introduction.
No problem, sir. Thank you. Sir, so let me just drop into the first question I have. That is, what is exactly forensic odontology and what does a forensic odontologist do?
Okay. Um, I'm pretty sure that as a dental graduate, like um, we have been taught or we have been discussing about this topic. So basically, forensic odontology is a branch of forensic science that in the interest of justice deals with the examination, handling, presentation of the dental evidences in the court of law.
Okay.
And if at all, if I have to put it in a simpler manner, I'll say
Right.
application of dental knowledge to the criminal justice system.
Okay.
Okay. So
That's
basically, a forensic dentist are generally involved in assisting the investigative agencies. It could be any forensic or law enforcement agencies to identify the recovered human remains in addition to the whole bodies. Now, when I talk about identification, it is purely when visual recognition is not possible.
okay.
So that's how a forensic odontologist work. Like mainly, we have two basic setup. We work in a comparative manner, like where we rely more on the dental records. It could be a clinical chart, it could be X-rays, IOPA, OPGs, any radiographic film, dental models, the history given by their relatives. So we
Right.
are actually comparing the antemortem data with the postmortem evidence, and we get we do the identification. But at times, if we are not having any dental records, we go through other means. That is, we build a reconstructive profile
Okay.
and where we assess the all these evidences and extract all the informations such as age, gender, race, etc.
Right. Okay. Sir, so like you have mentioned, you have worked with the Interpol. I have always grown up from names like CBI or CID, watching CID. So, like, how was it when you were with association with Interpol?
Yeah, like 2019 May in Singapore, we had this Interpol DVI conference. So where all the members from different countries, they have to represent. So I was a bit tense because there was no such representation from our country except
Right.
me. So I had to put forward the views from the disaster management perspective. Though we are not having any DVI task force, so we had a lot of challenges, and after the Interpol discussion, I got a chance to have a strong discussion with the national authorities as well as the state authorities, where we are formulating various task forces who will be deployed for the in case of disasters.
Okay, sir, that sounds really very interesting because this was the most awaited interview for me. And okay, let's go to the second question. Sir, what are the steps for a BDS to become a forensic odontologist? Like after my completion, after my internship, like what courses should I opt for, both in India and abroad, and like best colleges in India?
Over the past few years, the field of forensic odontology has definitely witnessed a steady increase in regard to the interest as well as the contribution, both
Okay.
in India as well as in abroad. Uh, we have been taught about forensic odontology during our UG days. So, the Dental Council of India has taken a remarkable step by introducing this topic in the third and the fourth year of curriculum.
Right.
And from there, like forensic odontology has been seen, is taking a pace. So any dental graduate can apply for a master's program in forensic odontology after the internship. There are certain universities in India as well as in abroad. To name a few, in India we have JSS University in Mysore, a same university, Gujarat Forensic Science University in Gujarat provides a full-time 2-year master's program. However, various other academic institutions such as DY Patil Mumbai, the SDM Dharwad and SDM Dental College in Dharwad, then certain professional bodies such as the Indian Association of Forensic Odontology as well as the Indian Dental Association, they are providing certain certificate as well as fellowship programs.
Right.
So that's more from the Indian perspective. But when we talk about international abroad universities, we have this Adelaide University in Australia, the Dundee University in Scotland, KU Leuven in Belgium. These are few universities that offer a pure PG course in forensic odontology.
Okay.
Yep.
Sir, so what is like the basic curriculum when we opt for a PG course, for example, of 2 years? So what all we will be taught?
Okay. The basic curriculum, it depends from institution to institution and depends on whether it's a 1 week, 6 months, or 2-year program, how extensive the program is. Few elements which are generally covered. If it's a 1 week program, if it's a 6 months program, it's like you are exposed to introduction, history, and a basic overview of forensic odontology is taught. Uh, some application of the dental anthropology, dental archaeology is also taught. Then age
Okay.
estimation methods related to clinical, radiographic, morphological, histological are taught. Then sex assessment through teeth and skull bones, basic handling and identification of human remains. Then legal aspects of forensic odontology. That's legal dentistry, I would say.
Okay.
Then bite mark examination, evaluation, and the analysis per se. The disaster victim identification, like if you go to a disaster, how are you going to act? Right from scene of incident to the reconciliation phase. Then other methods such as the palatoscopy, that's Rugai, then lip prints, denture markings. Then yeah, there's one core area that is forensic dental genetics. Uh,
Okay.
that's DNA identification of dental
From the
remains.
dental remains. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how majorly topics have been covered. But talking about our university, the entire 2-year program has been segregated into and sorted into 4 semesters. So when a student comes to the university, they're exposed to basics of forensic science, the investigative science, topics such as the crime scene management, Then we also discuss basics of dental anatomy and histology from forensic perspective, where we incorporate dental anthropology in depth. Then we also make sure that they are thorough with human physiology and biochemistry, because these are some of the basic topics that will be helpful in later stage if we focus on the DNA, RNA, or the forensic serology aspect in whole.
Right.
Then, like after their initial 6 months, then in the next semester they are exposed to right from the basics to advanced forensic odontology, like all age estimation, gender determination, archaeology, DVI. And then the third semester is core, where we discuss forensic radiology, forensic histopathology, forensic medicine, and a paper on dental records management too. So that's how a student is being exposed to the A to Z of forensic odontology.
Right.
Yeah.
Sir, I was very interested and clear that forensics has been a major part in my life uh, in terms of interest. So when I graduated, what is stopping me right now for pursuing forensic odontologist is like I'm not sure if giving 2 years in this field is worth. I'm not saying that in terms of interest or in terms of education, I will be enjoying my 2 years, but what after 2 years? So I would like to ask that what is the scope and future of forensics odontology, especially in India, and are there any jobs availability, especially in the government sector?
Right. I see, like it's my personal perspective. I see a lot of potential and future market in forensic odontology, both in India and abroad. But yes, there are a lot of challenges and factors involved.
Right.
Like we say, हर सिक्के के दो पहलू होते हैं,
Yeah.
right? There are merits and demerits. So, in the similar manner, if there are future perspective, there are certain challenges too. If at all, I like we see the graph in forensic odontology, especially in India. The first
Right.
department was established in India somewhere 2006, if at all I'm not wrong. And now, after
Okay.
14 years, we
Right.
can surely appreciate that there's a huge impact.
Yeah.
Many departments have come up, many dedicated forensic odontology centers have come up in northern part and western part and eastern, southern part especially. And the colleges, university are just not dedicatedly working in the forensic caseworks, but they are helping the young professionals in academics and research too, activities too.
Okay.
I am happy to share that this fact that very like a few alumni from our university are working in different sectors. Like few are directly involved in the caseworks, practicing in a forensic medicine department with the forensic medicine professionals. Few are into teaching aspects, like activities in universities and medical dental colleges, in forensic institutions. Few are pursuing their doctorate studies in India and abroad too, and we are working with the government as well as private sectors, and also with the international as well as national bodies. So,
Okay.
yeah, I see a scope in this area, but one has to be passionate about this field, and you should be having patience.
Okay.
If you have patience and if you keep working in this area, I'm sure you can achieve what you have desired. Like if you're looking for a government job, like to be very honest, I never thought there would be an opening in a dental college of where a senior resident post would be created. So
Right.
there are opportunities, and I'm very sure that there are, in last 4 5 years there has been an increase in the establishing the departments, and in next 5 to 10 years also, like we can see a lot of opportunities.
Right. So, can you name few of the challenges that a forensic odontologist faces once we complete like our 2 years ka masters in it?
Hmm. Yeah, job is the first aspect.
Okay.
And secondly, whenever in this 2 year program, how dedicatedly like you have taken the studies, because like we have certain students who are totally dedicated, who are continuously working on their academics and research. Okay, and there are students who have taken, they have already envisioned that okay, 2 साल के बाद जॉब नहीं मिलने वाला, तो just पढ़ाई करके मुझे खत्म करना है, and they'll just get back to the clinical practice. So, what's your mindset? Secondly, it's not like a clinical practice that once you're completing, you can open up a clinical practice and you can start treating patients. Here we are not having living individuals. Here we are having dead individuals. Secondly, convincing the law enforcement is a huge challenge. And when we talk about forensics, okay, there are hurdles such as first is the legal ethical issues. Okay, you cannot directly start giving incision because there are people who are waiting for their loved ones. Okay, so there are legal issues, there are humanitarian issues, there are certain challenges with the forensic medicine aspect. Like not everyone is inclined towards odontological aspect because with the advancement of the technology, people believe that DNA is the only gold standard technique. Okay,
Right.
so if we are having body, let's go for a DNA and establish the identity. But I believe apart from DNA, dental tissues play a major important role, and we can actually save the tissue getting crushed or do any kind of invasive procedure.
Sir, do we study like general forensics medicine in forensic odontology? Do we get to study that?
Yeah, but not in whole. When we
Right.
talk about forensic medicine, we have a special paper on forensic medicine in SEM 3. So where we discuss about the mortuary setup, we discuss about various incision procedures, how the tissues have to be removed, what all tissues, like what's the procedure of preserving the tissues, and all the legal and the clinical applications. But definitely we are, as a odontologist, like even in our UG race, we don't study the medicine surgery in depth.
Yeah, even
Okay,
in the
in similar
anatomy
manner,
also.
yeah.
It's hidden
So
neck.
it's much, yeah, it's much more related to hidden neck. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, when we talk about radiology, histopathology, medicine, hidden neck, we are very strong.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I thought there's some internet connectivity issue.
No, no.
Okay, so I remember one incident where a forensic medicine professional just named one method of age estimation, and we were able to give more methods like based on the radiology, based on the morphological. So they were not aware about these methods.
Those.
So it's
Right.
yeah.
Sir, if I go into forensics odontology, so can I, in these 2 years, can I also carry out my clinical practice? Like, would I be able to get the time, or would I be able to dedicate it to the clinics in the evening, or maybe just few weeks in a day, so that I don't just lose up my whole the practice? Is that
Uh,
possible?
See, if you're enrolling for an abroad university, I don't know how it's going to work in abroad.
Okay.
In India, definitely, as JSS University and Gujarat Forensic Science University are providing master's program, the the timing of the daily classes is between 10:30 to 6. So after that, if you are keen, because I used to practice in that manner during
Okay.
while I was pursuing my PG, I used to practice because
Nice.
I was very oriented towards the clinical practice. But then I
Okay.
decided now I have to leave my clinical practice and I have to get into core forensics itself. So
Right.
you can do maybe after 5 or 6, or if you are not having any practical sessions. At times we do have practical classes where it's related to DNA, and you have to wait till you get a proper result.
Result. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, so there are any apps or websites or videos which you would recommend, so that at least while we are at home, we are still connected to this field somehow. Maybe we can get updates or articles so that we can keep in touch. Are
Okay.
there any?
Like forensic odontology is currently taking that pace in terms of research and development in India.
Okay.
Maximum research is done on the clinical perspective, that is based on the age determination, but not
Right.
on the innovation aspect. But there are certain apps like I use on a personal basis, that is for the general anatomy, general and dental anatomy, that is 3D skull atlases, because I'm working on that domain presently.
Yeah.
Then we have this dental bone box. Yeah. Then I have seen certain game and interactive based applications for crime scene, but I have never used, so I really don't know. But I can surely recommend everyone to just check the international and national organizations website. Like it could be IOFOS, the International Organization for Forensic Odontostomatology, or the Indian Association of Forensic Odontology, IAFO, British Association of Forensic Odontology, BAFO. Then we have the American Society of Forensic Odontology, American Board of Forensic Odontology, where you get updates on various books, upcoming conferences, events, research activities, and they also are looking for young professionals where the funding can be given. Okay, so all these are certain websites.
Sir, so we have a question that is there any exam for admission in forensics or like direct admission?
Pertaining to my university, I can say we have an entrance exam. So we normally conduct the entrance exam in the month of November, December.
Okay, so this year will be happening or it's get delayed?
It might get delayed because understanding the
Yeah,
current situation. So
situation.
maybe instead of November, December, it could be Jan, Feb, somewhere around that.
Okay. And to check the updates, we can visit the site, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir. So have you been to any, I mean, like I'm sure you must have been to any crime scene. So what was your first experience you had?
I remember visiting a crime scene while I was pursuing my PG.
Okay.
Because being in a state university, we get an identity card, and
Right.
being close to the Directorate of Forensic Science, that is uh, the only state agency involved in the crime investigation. So there was one theft and robbery. So that was my first incident, where the forensic experts were involved in taking the fingerprints. They were collecting certain trace residues from the locker. They were trying to using different lights and different modalities. But when we talk about dental, we
Right.
hardly go to crime scene. We visit mortuary.
Yeah, right.
So
So,
whenever like routinely we take our students to the mortuary setup where we understand the forensic medicine, forensic odontological perspective. But yeah, whenever we get a call, we just go to the mortuary as such. But that is a routine procedure.
okay. Sir, so yeah. So why you choose forensics odontology is my first question, and secondly, most importantly, I would really want to know why you stayed in India, because most people want to go abroad, and most people are requesting me for an interviews to, ask people who have gone abroad and what are the career options there. So
Yeah.
why you choose here and why you choose forensics?
Like for me, there are many such instances or the events, people involved who kept inspiring me to choose this field. To
Okay.
begin with, I would say as a child, I'm sure everyone would have watched CID or
Forensic
CSI,
files.
Forensic Files, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of my inspiration. Uh,
Okay.
then coming to dentistry, we have this chapter of forensic odontology in third year. So
Yeah.
I was also taught by my oral pathology mentors. They gave me more idea about forensic odontological aspect and what
Right.
forensic is all about. Then during my internship, I got a chance to present a paper in a conference. So guess the topic. Again, forensic
Forensics.
odontology.
Right.
So that was my third instance. And so again, I started collecting various literatures, started reading more and more about the specialty. Though I couldn't win a prize in that conference, but the presentation was appreciated by the jury. So that motivated me.
Okay.
So
Sir,
these are
exactly.
certain.
I presented an IDA that was held in Delhi 2 to 3 years ago, and I passed my first round, and that was forensics, of course. The second I couldn't, I don't know why, but I was very happy that I cleared the first. So, yeah.
Right, right. So these were certain small steps that gave me a lot of interest in this area. Like I tried exploring more and more. So right after my graduation, I started looking for a university that was offering a full-time program because, like I believed that uh, if at all you want to learn something, you have to give total attention to that. So
Right.
at that time, there were no such institutions in India. And I'm talking about somewhere 7 to 8 years back.
Back.
So there were no such institutions offering a PG program. And I was looking for different universities in Australia, Dundee, Belgium. But there came this ad in the newspaper about Forensic University offering a PG course, and I first visited the university, and what I thought of, I got everything because there were different specialities. Apart from forensic odontology, they had a department of science, had a department of psychology. They were doing the narco analysis. So everything was there. So I decided, okay, so I have to enroll. I have to get enrolled in this university itself. So that's how I started with my PG. I completed my PG, and after my PG, I again wanted to study. I was keen for
Right.
my research, so I thought I'll move abroad. I wanted to pursue my doctorate studies from many international universities. So, but God was kind enough where I landed into the same university as a faculty and started with my doctorate studies here itself. So
Okay.
I'm really privileged to be attached to this university from last 6 years, and I have seen a steady progress about like in forensic odontology. Like where we didn't had a department, and now we have at least a laboratory, a fully fledged, a good laboratory where we are conducting teaching and research activities. So that's
And sir, what's your future plans?
For now, my future plan is to excel in the terms of teaching, research, and promote forensic odontology in India, like in our country.
Right.
Like we have many students who don't have much idea about forensic odontology, so want to promote this science. We have recently established a dedicated forensic odontology lab, as I stated. So where we have
Right.
all the basic to advanced. So I want to make it as a global center.
Okay.
And yeah, and I'm extremely happy and fortunate enough that I have a very good team of young professionals, both in terms of my students as well as fellow colleagues who are striving day in and day out and raising this bar of forensic science, like odontology as such.
Sir, so I hope that you no more look for abroad universities and you just focus on forensic ontology in India.
Yeah, very true. Like even we are getting good collaborations both from national as well as international stakeholders. So I'm pretty sure that in a few coming years we would be having an established forensic odontology department or a center, which would be a global center, and even the international university would be seeing to this
Right.
lab.
Hoping for the same, sir. And just one question, that when we say research, what does research means? When we say we go into research or we do the research, what does that mean in terms of this field?
See, research is like, as the word suggests, research. Like you're searching whatever is present, and you're
Yeah.
researching again and again on a particular domain.
Right.
So, talking about forensic odontology, we have very different subspecialties or subdomains. Like just focusing on the age estimation or the bite mark analysis or the other methods of identification, that is rugoscopy, kiloscopy, or any such modality. Like that could be one of the area of research. And when we talk
Okay.
about in India, like I see a lot of potential both in terms, like there are oral pathologists, medicine experts who are working to promote this area, like age estimation. Now, talking about my area, I am keen to this new apps or technology. Okay, I am not interested in conventional things. So we are working on a different domain where, if at all we have certain fragmented pieces, so how can you
Reconstruct.
assemble it,
Yeah.
reconstruct it without touching? So that is
Okay.
one of the area where we are working. Then 3D, when we talk about, it's imaging as well as printing. So we were the first one in India to work on this aspect. On like we introduced 3D printing in forensic odontology, and we have been using 3D printing technology in clinical dentistry. So we thought, like, if we can use in clinical dentistry, then why not in forensics?
Yeah, right.
So think about a topic, and definitely you can start doing research in that area. Yeah.
Okay, and sir, I have seen in like few web series or somewhere that a face has been reconstructed. Like they do it on the computer, of course, but if the face is destroyed because of some crime scene, because of the some crime, then they reconstruct it. That is also included in this.
Yes, yes. So we have, when I talk about the semester two, where basic to advanced techniques are being promoted. So in paper four, we teach bite mark analysis, facial reconstruction also. So
Okay.
like again, I would say God has been very kind. Last 1 year, like we had one student. I would definitely name him, Dr. Arjun, and he is an artist. So he could help me in doing this facial reconstruction. So we have prepared, and yeah, not only Dr. Arjun, Dr. Devesh, again a student. We have been working on various depth parameters, understanding, comparing two different methodologies, compared conventionally. So now I can definitely share the pictures. Like we have reconstructed a baby skull, we have reconstructed a
Okay.
non-human skull, we have reconstructed a human skull, both in terms of male and female. So
Right.
that's how presently we are working, but it's more on a conventional technique. Uh, Recently, like we'll be getting the advanced version also. So where we won't be using any clays or materials to reconstruct a face, we'll be doing everything digitally.
Okay, that's great, sir. We have a question that they do have a course in Ahmedabad, right? Yeah, the university sir is talking about, and from where he is, that is in Gujarat, right?
Yeah.
Sir, so my questions are for halt. My questions are over. Otherwise, I will keep on going. Let's see if audiences have some. So, but we have to make a huge name to earn, right? Is like you have to make. Do we have to make a huge name so that we earn like really well?
See, here when we talk about earning aspect, okay, we are not into clinical practice or
Right.
a private practice. So earning in terms of either you are in a government setup or private setup. Either you're working in a teaching institution, either you're doing a research, either you are into the caseworks. So when I talk about earning a name, yes, definitely. If you be a prosthodontist, if you be an oral surgeon,
Yeah.
uh,
Right.
again you need a name. Okay, people will come to your clinic if you have a name, if you have a good
Yeah.
skill. So
Yeah.
definitely, so in the starting only I stated, like you should be having patience. So if you have patience and if you keep on working on the similar line, I'm pretty sure that you will definitely earn that name in which you are working, and yeah.
Okay. We have discussed job opportunities done. What is the first thing you check in mass disasters? In mass disasters.
See, when we talk about mass disaster, there are many criteria. Whether it is an open or closed disaster, we have different types of disaster.
Right, right.
Whether the disaster occurred in a closed room or like a closed environment, or it is an open environment. How many people were involved? So when we talk about the entire chain of custody, the first phase is search and recovery. So So before that, we have forensic team would come into place when the rescue operation is completed. So in any disaster, if we are having a living individuals involved, we have to go for the rescue operation. We have to take the living individuals to the hospital, nearby hospital, and give them the first aid. That's the first approach. Then once that is done, maybe the recovery team comes. They will search the bodies who have are deceased individuals. So we have to carry them to the mortuary setup. We have to carry the personal belongings to the setup where the personal identifications can be done. So search and recovery is the first phase.
Okay. Sir, which is the best college for forensics odontology? I guess it's Gujarat, but what's your take?
See, I won't say that like in any university or any institution is the best college. Okay,
Okay.
we have like if at all we see the history, like there are good students coming from a different college. Okay, I won't say a bad
Right.
college. There are
Yeah.
students who have come up from a very like who have come like who have shined in a
Right.
from a very bad college, and there are students who have graduated from a very high in best colleges, and still they are not earning or they are not into clinical practices. Okay,
Right.
so in India there are universities, there are courses, institutions offering different courses, but it is the ultimate mindset of an individual. uh, Whether you want to be in this field, whether you are interested in research, whether you are interested in caseworks, how you develop a relationship with the forensic medicine personals or the department. So there are many such factors. So for me, I would say all the universities that are offering forensic odontology are the best because they have their own speciality, they have their own merits and demerits. Okay, maybe here in our university, we're not much into the caseworks, but we are much more into the teaching and research. So
Right.
every university or institution would be having a merit as well as a demerit.
Demand. Okay, rightly said, sir. Sir, can we do forensic medicine after BDS? Do forensic medicine have more openings than forensic odontology?
It's like asking doing a general surgery after BDS. Okay,
Okay,
so
yeah.
you can't do general surgery after BDS. You can do general surgery only after MBBS. If you
Right.
want to do surgical practice, you have to opt for oral surgery, right? In a similar manner, if you're interested in forensic medicine, only a medical graduate can complete forensic medicine. And if you're
Okay.
looking for forensic odontology, it's just dedicated to the dental. Yeah, we have candidates from the medical background who are interested in forensic odontology. So I remember like two years back there was one fresh medical graduate coming to a university asking for a seat in forensic odontology, and like we totally said no because it's only for the dental graduates because they are not much aware about the dentistry as such.
Dentistry,
So,
exactly.
yeah, when we talk about the job openings, there is a set criteria for forensic medicine professionals because it is under the Medical Council of India.
Of India,
Till
right.
date, I have no clue why the Dental Council of India is not taking up a step in forensic odontology.
Okay.
So, if Dental Council of India takes any significant step, maybe we would be having a similar job openings in the medical as well as the dental institutions.
Dental. Sir, so what is the average salary in this field?
It ranges. It depends
Okay.
on the city. It depends upon the job work you do. It depends on the post. Okay, like I won't name the person and the
Right.
organization, but there are few colleagues and few juniors, the alumni from my university, who are working in a certain setup, who are getting who are paid more than a lakh per month,
Okay.
but they are based in certain metro cities,
Right.
right? And there are some alumni who are working in a different sector, like it's a totally private organization where the salary would range between maybe 15 to 20,000. Okay, so
Okay.
you cannot directly compare. the salary as such. But it definitely depends upon which area you're working. Either it is directly casework, because I remember students are working in government setup. So if it's direct government, if it's a central government, it's they're paying too high, and if it's a state government, it would be lesser. If it's a private, it would be lesser. So yeah.
So even if we graduate, the first basic salary we get is like 15 approx. So at the end, what matters is like what you really want to do. If you are passionate in doing what you aren't, so 15 is also good enough for you. And at the
Yes.
end, we can get into central government, as you said, that reputation and your name, and that would be only because of your skills.
Yes, it's all because of your skill. Because if at all I give an example, I stated about the senior resident opening. Okay, so
Right.
getting into this opening, you definitely have to clear the entrance exams. Okay,
Hmm.
so there were approximately double-digit candidates, okay, who were ready to get enrolled as a senior resident in the India's best college, where they are getting the forensic cases, but only one could get into it.
Right. Sir, so when we, so during our masters in this field, do we get stipend?
See, again, talking about our university, we don't definitely give stipend. We have certain scholarships, and again, scholarships are available even in the abroad universities, but
Okay.
definitely no stipend as such.
Sir, if we avail that scholarship, I mean, like it's through the exam only, right? And which will happen, which may extend like May, January or February next year.
Yeah, and see, scholarship depends upon, because the national body, the central government, the state government, they are coming up with various different scholarships. So we had certain students, we are having certain students who are availing such scholarships,
Okay.
and the benefit is like uh, we are not talking about in terms of research. The students do not pay from their pocket in terms of the R&D. Whenever we have student innovation policies where the students are given some amount, okay, ranging from 10,000 to 1 lakh or more than that, okay, and and it's totally dedicated to research activities.
Right. Okay. Sir, so how can you manage general practice teaching and job as an odontologist?
Uh, Presently, talking about me, I don't do general practice. Like, I'm not into clinical practice at all. I'm just into teaching, promoting forensic odontology as. If you are a student, yes, maybe during the student hours, like you can learn, do practicals, and after that, in the evening, you are free to choose your clinical practice.
Right. Okay. Sir, as an oral medicine and radiologist, can you practice forensic odontology?
Any person, like any dental graduate, can practice forensic odontology if he is having sound knowledge.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
I don't deny stating that an oral medicine or oral pathologist cannot practice forensic odontology. They can practice, but if they are having sound knowledge, skills, and if they are attached to, and what kind of practice you are talking, whether it is
Right.
a
Exactly.
direct practice in terms of casework, so then you have to get attached to a forensic medicine department where we normally get cases.
Right.
There are general dentists, there are oral pathologists, oral medicine experts who are involved in caseworks. And not only that, if you're talking about research practice, you can do it even as a dental graduate.
Okay. This point was quite interesting. Sir, how can we do that? If like I'm a graduate, and how can I do research then?
uh, See, you need to have a one-to-one discussion with the mentor, okay, because
Okay.
there are many such topics going on. Maybe some topics you are interested, some
Right.
topics like you're not interested in. So definitely you need a mentor, and it could be like from a local level or a state level or a national level. Okay, and
Okay.
India is presently promoting a lot of research activities. Like I have been following the ICMR aspect, or the science and technology, or the DBT, the Department of Biotechnology, where they are giving a lot of funding to the dental graduates.
Okay. Sir, so how can I, as an undergraduate, prepare and apply for masters in research-based forensic odontology? I guess the question is, how can we prepare for the exams that we will be giving for the forensic odontology?
Talking about our university, we have two basic papers. One on general dentistry, and one would be core on the current affairs and research aptitudes.
Okay. Sir, so there are any books which should we refer? Like for MDS, we know that the basic is Dental Pulse.
Yeah. No. Whatever you have studied right from the first year to the final year, okay, it's basic questions. And because we also understand that you are not exposed to forensic odontology or
Right.
forensic as such in detail. So, general dentistry is given weightage, the anatomy, histology, pathology, radiology, and like any books can be opted for that. And you can refer any current newspapers or current books for the current affairs and research
The
aptitudes.
aptitude. Okay. Sir, is it through NEET MDS? I
No,
don't
no, no,
think so. We
no,
have to
no.
apply it differently.
Yeah.
Like in which university we are applying, we have to give that university ka exam.
Yes, because JSS is conducting their own entrance exam. We are conducting our own entrance exam. I'm not sure whether the abroad universities, such as the Adelaide University, Dundee University, they do conduct the entrance exam or not. But yeah, you need to call up the university authorities for this matter.
Okay.
But it is
Sir,
definitely not from NEET.
yeah. Sir, what if I go after BDS and do forensics odontology abroad and then I come back to India? Do I have to give another exam, or I can just apply to any college for job or anything? Can I practice forensics directly from coming
See,
from abroad?
Uh, there I know a few individuals who have completed their masters from abroad universities, who have came back to India and are practicing forensic odontology,
Okay.
that is teaching and research as well as casework. And
Right.
there are individuals who are not practicing. They have either switched into the clinical practice. They are not doing
Okay.
forensic. Few are definitely into teaching activities. So there are different norms. We are not having any specific guidelines like how we are having for the MCI, like how in MCI we have like any medical graduate who has graduated from different universities out of India, they have to give certain exams. So we definitely don't have any exams or any qualifications for now. But I guess Dental Council of India needs to take a step. It's a
Regarding
high
this.
time.
Okay. Sir, is there any fellowship available so that we can pursue forensic odontology? You have mentioned few, but sir, the question is, if we do a 3 months ka module or 6 months ka module or maybe 1 year, we don't do it like the masters. So, can we apply for job? But it's just a course. How can we avail that opportunity? What will be given to a masters in forensic odontology? How can a 3 months course, if we do it, how can we join anything?
I'm not very sure, and I don't know any such individual who have completed their fellowship or certificate courses and directly are into clinic the practices.
Right.
Uh, but yes, if you have a degree in terms of if you are a dental graduate, BDS, MDS, and if you are attached to any government bodies, and then
Okay.
if at all you are availing for fellowship courses, maybe it's possible. But
Okay.
as a dental student, if you are applying for any fellowship program and then getting into the casework, I guess it would be a huge challenge.
Right. Okay, sir. I guess much of the questions are done and mine are also over for now. And so, if we have any questions, we can ask you on your Instagram account, right?
Yeah,
Is there
you
any
can
mail?
definitely contact me. In terms of forensic odontology, you can follow this page. You can also follow the Twitter or the LinkedIn, where we keep updating about our research activities, what we are currently doing, and yeah, that's about forensic odontology.
Okay. Thank Thank you so much, sir, for making this happen. This was a much needed. Thank
Okay,
you.
I would conclude the session by saying, for me, and I believe forensic odontology is an amazing specialty. And as it is rightly said, that future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. A very famous quote by the Eleanor Roosevelt. So, if you're dreaming about the specialty, and you definitely need to strive harder, believe in yourself, and I'm sure you too can achieve what you have dreamt for. Thank you.
Okay, rightly said. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.